attending the press conference today. The family in the Dusty Trail Saloon would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us. Today, we will not be releasing any new information pertaining to the case. This conference is mostly centered around the show taking place to raise money for the softball field in honor of the girls. Today, I'd like to speak briefly about an event taking place at the Dusty Trail Saloon on Saturday, July the 15th, 2017. Ken Broniak and myself had sit down for our weekly business meeting with our boss, Dan DeMolin, to have a discussion. He had mentioned that he would like to do something to help out the two girls' family in Delphi. Ken and myself questioned, what made him come to this decision. Dan's simple remark was, we all have children, don't we? So with that being said, we began to work on a show that we intended to use as a platform to raise money to help make the reward larger. At this point, Ken had instructed me that I needed to seek out the approval and the blessings of the family. Upon meeting with Liberty German's grandparents, Mike and Becky Patty, we had brought to our attention that their dream was to build a softball complex in order to honor the girls. We said, perfect. Here's our way to help these families in these communities remember these girls forever. Between Dan owning a large venue and construction company and my entertainment booking and management experience and Ken's business ingenuity, the three of us combined stood a great chance to really make this dream a reality. I reached out to the platinum-selling rock band Saving Abel to seek their help, and they instantly committed and were more than willing to do the show. This blew our minds, so we set out to build a show around Saving Abel. Later that week, I received a phone call from Rick Wolf, lead singer of a very successful regional band by the name of X Factor 1. Again, another huge leap for the show. At this point, the show was named the Abbey and Liberty Field of Dreams Memorial Concert. We had the bands to make this happen. We began to set up the foundation for the show, such as a hog roast, which our good friend Ben Bennett came forward to donate the hog. I had made contact with our good friend Tim Fryer to organize a motorcycle ride and was introduced to an amazing gentleman by the name of Billy Martin. Billy Martin is the main coordinator for a majority of the motorcycle poker runs taking place in this part of the state. There will also be a silent auction that items donated from different local businesses and people from all over the world, rock stars, and etc. So we here at the Dusty Trail Saloon would like to thank you for coming today and also to invite you and everyone in your families to attend the show Saturday, July 15th, 2017 to celebrate the life of Abby Williams and Libby German. Help us make this field a reality. I once heard a wise man say, let's aim for the stars, and if we fall short, let's aim for the moon, and if we fall short, we'll land amongst the stars. So at this point in time, I'd like to thank you guys, and I'm willing to answer questions concerning the show. Okay, at this time, I will turn it over to Mike Patty.
Thank you, sir. All right. First, I'd like to thank the team here at the Dusty Trail. These people have been so giving in their efforts to help us make this park and ball fields a reality. We cannot express our gratitude enough. There are a few I'd like to name out specifically. The band Saving Abel, Dennis Spencer, he's the manager here at the Dusty Trail Saloon, Ken Broniak, he's business manager, Dan DeMolin, the owner, Billy Martin, Tim and Bree Fryer, the bike ride coordinators, Rick McAfee of Red Fox Indy, promotional information, and countless other sponsors we've yet to meet up with. Also want to express our thanks to all the churches, people, and businesses that have been and are continuing to support us, both locally and around the state. Also express our support of law enforcement. They've been working tirelessly running down thousands of leads and tips that have been called in. It's with the support of all the news crews and the public that will get the key tip or piece of information that's needed to direct this investigation so justice can be served. All of our sincere appreciation, again, to all you news crews who supported this investigation and kept this information out there so someone who thinks it could be or possibly might be will call that information in. And that's truly from the bottom of my heart. We keep this information out there. Somebody out there knows, and somebody, I'm encouraging them to call that tip in, call that information in. With that, I'll open it up to any questions or any comments from anybody.
Mike, there's a lot of things you could have done to honor Abby and Libby's memory, but softball field was the main thing you guys wanted to do. Talk about why the softball field and why the sports complex?
Well, it's a sports complex per se, but it's really a couple of softball fields and a park. And that's from both families. The park portion is so the community can really come around and enjoy that. There's some very neat things that we're going to include in that. We sat down with Anna last night, ate some mushrooms, didn't we? And discussed some really neat things she brought to the table that I think we'll roll those out at some point. But it's really going to be a neat thing as part of the park. Obviously, the softball fields is something that the rest of the girls in the community who play softball, can enjoy. They give them a place to call home, a place to be proud of, And we want to give back to the community who's been, and the nation again, who's been so good to us, And just like these guys, all stepping up to the plate here, giving us this show. This is really going to enable us and help make this dream a reality of keeping their memory alive.
Mrs. Williams, we haven't really heard from you. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you're doing and what you want folks to remember about your daughter?
Oh, there are so many things. Thank you all for being here. This softball field, the ballpark, is going to be a lot of that. We talked a lot last night about the fact that not only were they involved in softball, but music and art. And while they're taking care of the softball side of things, I'll be working on the art and the music side of things, because it's all together. They were all of those things together that made those girls so very special to us. There just aren't enough words.
It's not an easy project, though. As we were just talking about that with you guys. It's a lot of money is going to have to go into this. Obviously, them coming forward and having this concert will help, but you're going to need help from the community too, right?
Very much so. We did not realize how big of an undertaking this was going to be. When we first thought we would, there was money coming in, and we wanted to do something with it to honor the girls. So we were sitting around and talking and said, let's do a softball field park, thinking you can go out there and put you down some bases and be done. Well, guess what? We were also very naive in costs on what this kind of stuff costs. It's quite staggering, but we want to do this. We want to get this done, and this is why we're here, because this has become our focus. Can't bring those girls back, but we can sure make sure that they're going to be remembered, and we're working very hard to make sure that we give back to the community, and those girls are going to be remembered when we're long gone.
Talking to the police too, we talked to the Carroll County Sheriff today, and the prosecutor mentioned that they're becoming more optimistic, because I'm sure they probably told you guys working around the clock, still have investigators working every single day. At this point, how are you feeling about the case? Are you confident that they will be able to find the suspect?
Today's the day. Today's the day. Every day we wake up, today's the day. And God's got this. They believe it, we believe it.
And we understand. We understand that everybody's frustrated. We understand the community and the nation, that everybody right along with us are frustrated. But we believe in the police. We believe that they're doing their job right. And while we're frustrated, we'll wait. We are willing to wait to make sure they're doing everything right. That when they take him in, there's no way he's going to walk on a technicality. So we're willing to do that. And until then, we'll say today's the day.
There's so many parents in the Delphi community whose hearts go out to all of you who share your frustration, and who also are afraid with whoever this person or persons are out there. Do you have a message for other parents out there?
I would say that Obviously, be very vigilant about your comings and goings, but don't let this person or persons take away your life. You know, we all must kind of move on, but that person wins if we don't get to have the lives that we want to live. You know, obviously he's taking the girls away from us, but I'm more vigilant now than I ever have been. But he's not going to stop us from doing the things we have to do in life and continue to move on. If we do that, then he wins, and I won't allow that to happen.
For anybody, the last thing I was going to ask is for anybody that might think, you know, you see a lot of comments on Facebook, and like you mentioned, people getting frustrated in the community. What would you want to tell them, you know, when they think the police aren't doing anything right now, either they don't have a suspect or it's going to be a cold case? I mean, what would you want to tell the community about that?
There's still hundreds, and if not a few thousand tips that they're still working through, hundreds coming in every day. And it's from the, you know, again, the news media and the public support that I believe this guy is going to be caught. Somebody out there does know something, and it's through press releases like this and talking about it and keeping it out there, even through social media, keeping it alive. Somewhere, somebody knows something, and I'm just asking them, please call that in. Even if you think it could have been, don't try to justify it or, you know, away in your own mind. Let the professionals do it. They have all the tools that they need to run down a tip or a lead. And let those guys do it. That's what they do for a living.
What's it like to see all the community support? I know you guys are having letters from all over the world. How's it been, you know,
Overwhelming. Overwhelming is the only word. Every day there's cards that come in and Facebook messages from all over the world, just like you said. I mean, it's not just here, it's not just out of state, it's everywhere saying, here in the UK, we've heard about you and we're praying for you. Those statements every day remind us that this is still out there, and it's not just us, it's everybody. Everybody thinks of us. The churches, we get a call or text message from somebody in the community just every day. Just how are you doing? What can we do? How can we help you? And even better, sometimes, how can we pray for you? Those moments when you're alone, those people are out there. We feel it, and we see it every day. And we could not be any more grateful.
Some days, that's what gets us through.
Absolutely.
Can you all stay in pretty close contact? I would imagine your daughters were dear friends, granddaughters and daughters, dear friends. Can you talk a little bit about that? I mean, you've kind of grown closer together, I would imagine.
Well, like they said, we had fried mushrooms last night. We try to have a moment with a meal, and we talk about things that are going on every day, and then we talk about the girls, and we talk about just life in general. But yeah, there's a lot of closeness. I've been very grateful for the companionship of Mike and Becky, and our love for both of the girls, because it could have been very easy just to keep that to ourselves, and we've definitely grieved together and shared happy moments together, and that's how we're going to be. We're family now, like it or not. We're family now.
Yes, we are.
Mike has spoken a lot about their bond. Anna, can you give a couple thoughts? I mean, these girls, they were dear friends.
They spent a lot of time together. I had the pleasure to watch them practice that afternoon before dropping them off for their latest art project at Mike and Becky's, and very special time. Those girls had a lot of special times together that we'll probably not even know all about. Their special secrets and their thoughts and things like that, but they had a good time.
They would walk around. Libby would have her phone, and Abby had an iPad, and they FaceTime, walking around the house. I'd say, "Could you wait till after dinner?" They would watch each other eat. I mean, they talked all the time.
Grounding them from those devices was like the worst thing ever. That was, yeah. Those hats. know you guys are just in the beginning stages of this. When would you hope to have this completed or to break ground or any ballpark timeframe? Tomorrow. We'd love it to be there tomorrow. But we have to be patient, just like everything else.
Realistically, we have figured it'll probably be next spring. It will probably be next spring. Hopefully, they can throw their first ball out. Opening day would be wonderful next year.
Is there anything you can picture of right now? I'm sure you have a bunch of different ideas, right? Even, you said the arts and crafts side and creative side and then the ballpark side. Is there something you can picture in your head that you could describe and how you want it to look, even if it wasn't tomorrow?
Girls love the outdoors, and as much as we'll have the ball fields and the park, they'll be very much the outdoors with the walking paths. Lots of trees. We've been blessed to be given trees and rose bushes, and it's like, well, we know where those are going, and that's what it'll be. It'll be a place for our community to start the healing. I hope that we can have that we'll find peace when we walk through our park and our ball field, and we'll know the girls are there. They'll be there.
Anything else? All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys for attending.